Hi, my name is KORP and welcome to this special edition of Doodle Club brought to you by GRAFFWERK Home Resources. In this video I'm going to show you how easy it is to draw a donut from two different angles. All you're going to need is a pencil, a Sharpie and lots of paper. Are you ready? So the first donut we're going to draw is from the top down. It's a nice easy way of drawing. You can also add a little face to it afterwards if you like. So grab your pencil. We're going to start off a big circle and a hole inside. So you've got your basic donut shape there. Then what you want to do is grab your Sharpie. So we're just going to go and do some outlining now with the Sharpie. So around this outside edge, we're going to do a wiggly line that passes over the pencil line. So let me show you what I mean. Just going to keep going backwards and forwards. Try and keep it random. Sometimes it's on the inside of the donut, sometimes it's on the outside. Just go all the way around, making sure you pass over that line. So a nice wiggly line all the way around. Let's go double line it. My favourite thing is to double line any drawings that I'm doing. The reason we double line it is to give it that rougher edge, so you get some thick lines like we've got there, but you also get some thinner lines like we've got here. So thick and thin all together, and we have if we have that consistent all the way around, it just makes for a much more interesting looking picture. So once you've done that, the next thing we want to do is draw the outside of the actual dough part of the donut. So all these lines, just going to go over those pencil lines. So make sure you're always going behind this curvy piece, which is the icing. So you're just following those pencil lines all the way around. Just making sure you don't go over the icing part. Easy so far, yes, and now we're going to do exactly the same pattern there, but we're going to do it on the inside of the donut. So don't forget that wiggly line that's crossing over that pencil line. Double line it as well, so you've got some thicker parts. And now this time, what you want to remember to do is draw the pencil line on the inside here. Go over this pencil line on the inside like this. Dead easy way to draw a donut. So the next thing we're going to do is change our tip. So we've gone from the thick tip that we're going to use for all the outside. Now we're going to the thin tip that we're going to use for some of the detail on the inside. So first thing I want you to do is think about some shadows and reflections. So we're going to have shadows drawn as lines coming in from this direction. So all the way around this edge, that's where we want to put some shadows in. Same with on there as well, because that's where we'd expect to see the shadows. If the light's coming in from this direction, we expect to see shadows down here. Next thing we're going to do is add some reflections. So up at the top, light's coming in from this way. Reflections are added in with little circles. So we've got some reflections on each individual drip there. Next thing we want to do is just add a big reflection for the top of the glaze. Once we've got that reflection in, let's go and add some little sprinkles. So just little tiny sausage shapes. Try and do them at all different angles, as random as possible. Mix it up. If you want to do different types of sprinkles, you can do. I'm leaving the bottom part quite free and empty. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a little really simple face on there to finish that off. So I think back with my fat tip of my Sharpie, I'm going to do a really simple face across here. So kawaii style. So all we're going to do is over here, black circle with another circle inside it, and then colour the rest in black. Then over here, another black circle, the circle inside it, colour the rest in black. Dead easy way of drawing a couple of eyes in there. And then we want to figure out what kind of a mouth we want putting in there. So I'm going to go for like a W shape, so right in the middle here. Little W shape for the mouth. Back on the fine liner again. Last little bit to finish it off is to put in some little tiny cheeks. So little circles where the eyes would be, just as some little cheekbones. And then some little lines coming out there to show that the eyes are a little bit more embedded into the icing there. A few finishing touches, a few dots on the dry part of the donut, the doughy part of the donut. All we're doing there is just making it look dry. That's it. It's as easy as that. So now you just grab your pro markers, throw some colour on, and see how we get on. So that's your top donut. Next we're going to grab another clean sheet of paper. I'm going to show you how to draw a donut from a more face-on angle. What we're going to do is, instead of drawing a circle, we're going to draw an oval, kind of like that. That's probably all we'll need. Let's just give ourselves another pencil line across the bottom here, just kind of following that bottom curve a little bit. Then grab your Sharpie, and what we're going to do is, across this pencil line that we did in the middle, we're going to do a drippy line across there. So starting from here over at the donut, just go down the side and then just do a drippy line that goes all the way across. Do those drips as big or as small as you want. Have some gaps. And have it end up there as well. Finish around the top of the donut. And then let's go and double line the whole thing. Don't forget, the reason we're double lining is just to make those lines look a little bit more interesting. If you can draw a perfectly smooth line, then go for it. Just draw a perfectly smooth line, but sometimes that's a bit more difficult. So I like to draw a rough line on purpose. Makes the artwork look a lot better, I think. So there's our icing on. Let's go and put the base of our donut in. Now, I'm going to probably extend the base of this donut a little bit more, just so I've got a touch more space. So I'm just going to go a little bit below that pencil line. Remember, our pencil lines are just guides. We don't have to stick to them perfectly. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to go down just a little tiny bit below that pencil line, all the way across, and then jump up and join into that drip there. So let's double line that. Then the last thing we want to do to finish off the shape of the donut is we're going to put that big hole in the middle. Now this is a lot easier than you'd probably think. All you're going to do is a great big smile right in the middle of that donut. So around about here, right in the middle of this icing part, a big smile shape. And then on the back of that big smile shape, we're going to do a drippy line. So it's going to start a little bit further down. So don't start right at the edge, start a little bit further down. And that's where you're going to draw a little drippy line in there. And that's the inside of the donut, where the icing is just dripping onto the inside of the donut as well. Okay, so that's it with the fat end of the Sharpie. Now grab the thin end of your Sharpie. Let's go and add some details in. So the first thing we're going to do is shadows and reflections. Then we're going to add some decoration. So shadows, if the light's coming this direction, shadow again is coming from this direction. So let's put lines all the way across the bottom here. So of the dough, then of the icing as well. All the way across. Anyway, you'd expect to see a little bit of a shadow in there. While you've got your fine liner, let's go and chuck in some hundreds and thousands. So all the way across the icing, different angles as much as you can. Try and keep it as random as possible. I find the best way to keep things looking random is by drawing them in pairs or in threes. So you can see that looks quite random to me, but everything's in a group. If you start doing them one at a time, it starts to end up looking like a bit more of a pattern. So a couple more, let's do some over the top here. Add in some dots, just to make it look like that part is a little bit drier on the donut. Again, concentrate the dots around the edge as much as possible, or in the cracks here, just underneath where you'd expect to see some shadows. Just make it a little bit darker under there. It's kind of a light stippling that we're giving it. So we've got to put the reflections on. So at the top here, we're going to just put a little reflection in. Could have done that a little bit bigger, but we'll stick with a small one, that's fine. And then just here as well, because the sun's coming in from this side, so the reflection is going to be there and there. And when we colour that in, we can colour those sections in a little bit lighter than the rest of the icing. That'll make it look like a reflection. Last thing to do, let's go and add ourselves a little face to this character as well. So I'm going to chuck the face over this side, going to make it a little bit closer together. So same thing as before, a circle with a circle inside and then colour the rest in black. Move along a bit, circle with a circle inside, colour the rest black. And then right in the middle there, W for a mouth. Finishing touches, back on with your fine liner. Little circle there for some cheekbones. Maybe do a couple of little flicked lines up just to make sure those eyes look like they're embedded in. And that's it. That's how to draw a donut from two different angles. So how did you get on? I'd love to see what you created. So if you post your artwork online, please be sure to tag me and GRAFFWERKS using the links below so we can see what you did. Thanks very much. I'll see you in the next video.